Hey everybody, Fox 10 meteorologist Kelly Foster here. Although August isn't necessarily the peak of hurricane season, it is typically when things begin to ramp up in our backyard, of course, talking about the Gulf. And keep in mind that it's really the way that along Alabama's coast that the Gulf reminds everyone who is in charge. In fact, some of our state's most punishing tropical hits have arrived under August heat, pushing storm surge into neighborhoods, chewing up barrier islands, and leaving lasting damage across Mobile and Baldwin counties. And we're going to start things off with three of the names that loom especially large in Alabama's August history, which is Hurricane Katrina in 2005. That's the map you're looking at right now. Hurricane Camille in 1969, and the Great Mobile Hurricane in 1852. We're going to start off first with Hurricane Katrina. And of course, Katrina's landfall was in southeastern Louisiana, but its reach and its impacts extended well beyond its center. Of course, along Alabama's Gulf shoreline, the storm drove roughly a 10-foot surge onto Dauphin Island, bulldozing sand and debris inland, damaging coastal infrastructure and flooding parts of the Mobile area. Bayou Battery was especially hit hard. Also, Dauphin Island, besides the damage there, we're talking Bayou Battery in Jackson County, my hometown of Pascagoula. A large area of Pascagoula was greatly impacted by Hurricane Katrina, and it took many years to recover from that. So I just want to talk about the impacts with these notable August hurricanes that they have had in the state of Alabama. Want to also mention Hurricane Camille. It struck August 17th in 1969, and that is when Camille crashed into the Mississippi coast as a Category 5 hurricane. Alabama absorbed the eastern side consequences. A storm tide near 10 feet swamped much of Dauphin Island, flooding an estimated 70% of the island and inflicted serious structural damage across Mobile and Baldwin counties. So again, Hurricane Katrina, it hit in Mississippi. Hurricane Camille hit in Mississippi. Both of these had major impacts to the state of Alabama. So just also a reminder that we don't have to have a direct hit from a hurricane from it to not have impacts to our local area that can be great. And finally, want to talk about the Great Mobile Hurricane. This was August 26 in 1852. So this map definitely looks older, very antiquated, but we are talking a hurricane from more than 100 years ago. And this was long before satellite loops and storm names. And Mobile was slammed by one of its most infamous August storms called the Great Mobile Hurricane. It was a destructive Category 3. It made landfall near Pascagoula with peak winds estimated at 115 miles per hour. But it was the surge that made history. It had strong southeast winds that shoved water into Mobile Bay, producing an estimated 12-foot storm tide and flooded downtown streets such as Water Street, Front, and Commerce, about 10 to 12 feet of water. So the takeaway from all of this is that August can deliver water storms. Even though the historical peak is mid-September, August systems have repeatedly produced dangerous storm surge and coastal flooding along Mobile Bay and our barrier islands, sometimes from storms that don't even make landfall within our state. So just definitely want to remind everyone that although, we're dealing with some quiet conditions right now, it's always very important to have a plan in place. Make sure that your insurance is up to date. You want to know exactly what you're going to do if a storm threatens the area in terms of an evacuation plan. You need to have everything in place. I would say all your supplies ready to to roll. You definitely want to do that checklist around your home, because whether we're expecting an active season or not, as we all know, it only takes one storm. Thankfully, right now, the Gulf is quiet. The Caribbean, we're not seeing much action, or in the open waters of the tropical Atlantic. We've been battling a lot of wind shear right now, but we definitely encourage you to check back with us. Stay tuned into the forecast. Download the free Fox 10 weather app. Go to Google Play or the App Store and download it. And that way you can stay up to date right from your phone. We all have our phones with us, and with just a push of a button, you can stay up to date with what is happening in the tropics. I just wanted to give you a recap of some August storms that have impacted the state of Alabama. Although we did not get a direct hit from these storms, the impacts were far-reaching. So just hope everyone has a safe hurricane season. That's what we're all hoping for, and definitely want you to make sure that you have a plan in place. And also, if you take a look at our Fox 10 Gulfstream app, you can take a look at our Storm Ready program. It's the 2026. We have our entire Fox 10 weather team. We're doing stories about hurricane season, because we want to make sure that you and your family are ready should a storm threaten our stretch of the Gulf Coast. Hope you have a great day. I'm Fox 10 meteorologist Kelly Foster with a look at this week's next weather.